There we go. There we go. It's working. Okay. Nice. So we should be live on YouTube as well. Nice. Everything is indeed working. Nice. Okay. So today we have let me quickly share Discord. That's my announcements. Okay. Got that online. Okay. Nice. Okay. So we have a rain of VOD for it's tragic for Silver Reina on Ascent. So it starts off midway through the game. That's okay. Must have just forgot to record or something. All good.
There's a ghost down up there, by the way.
Okay, they placed the turret the wrong way.
There's a ghost down up there, by the way.
So, probably the first thing, one of the most important things to like think about early on in have we already got a kill? We've already used one of our things, and we've got a point, so we've already got a kill. Okay, good to know. We must have defended on B or something. So something that's interesting here, right, is that I need to get my epic pen. What I was saying is it's a 4v2, right? So in a 4v2, generally we don't want to be taking any unnecessary risks. Can't see my epic pen. I need to actually. Okay, I'm just needing to fix everything. Display 1, it should be. Is it inline? It's indeed inline. Okay, so there's 3 of us low. Phoenix is the only one with full HP, and it's a 2v4. So realistically, if these people aren't super low, like it's not out of the realm of possibility they kill 3 of you, and it's in a 2v1, maybe in a 1v1, which obviously is bad considering we're in a 4v2 right now. So to stop this from happening is I would just pull back a bit, like try and play with the teammate a bit. Yeah. We also clearly don't know where they are, so I'm not too against one person going to find where they are in a kind of like more of an egregious place, as long as the other 3 play together. So you may not necessarily be making a mistake here fully, but I don't particularly like it still. Okay, so low found where they are. So now we really should be looking to try and get kill off our teammate's contact or something. Okay, we actually get these, yeah, okay. Not bad, not bad. I think our crosshair placements, it's okay. It's in the right direction at least. But I think here, yeah, we know that they have to run to site, right? So we can just hold. Because we're not in the rush, they are. They're attacking team, they're in the rush. So they're going to have to run out and try and plant the bomb. So we can just stay there. We don't have to swing anything, and we can just kill them as they cross. Our crosshair placement is also a bit low. But I'll probably talk about that a lot more, I imagine, because usually it's silver. And any rank below gold, really. Things like crosshair placement are usually some of the most important things to fix. And to, yeah, just get better at overall. So I won't go regen shield here. Economy is something that a lot of people, even at my rank, struggle with. Okay, so here I don't particularly like the buy, but basically the lack of buy, honestly. So we have, what, 2.8 credits? 2.8k credits? And we go just light armor, I think. Maybe regen armor. I can't remember if we bought it or not. But yeah, right here, I'll be going full armor Stinger, or full armor Spectre, full armor Bulldog. Or full armor Guardian, maybe, if you're really feeling it. That's probably what I would do. But I think, yeah, I don't really like saving on this round, because if you save on this round, you're giving them a chance to kill you a lot easier, right? You have light armor, which means that 2 headshots from the classic and you're dead. I mean, to be fair, that's for everyone. But like, even like a ghost can do like pretty well against you. Classic can do body shot after a headshot as well to kill you. So I think that realistically, full armor is the priority on this round, but you can get away with light armor if you have a more powerful gun. But because we have a ghost as well, both ways it's not very good. Our crosshair placement's off here, right? When we swing here as well, there's a couple things to note. One of the main things is that we're too close to the corner. There's like a couple of things to like bear in mind when you're like peeking an angle and how far away you want to be from the corner you're next to. So if you're close to the corner like you are now, what's going to happen is you're going to be essentially going onto the enemy screen faster, and that can be good in some ways and bad in others. If you're looking to fight the person, so you're looking to commit to the fight, which here you are, right? You want to be further away because you don't really want to be going to their screen sooner. So you want to be further away from the angle. But if you're like trying to juggle peek an operator or something like that, then that's when you want to be close to the angle. Right here as well, our crosshair placement needs some work. We need to, honestly, the actual like height is fine, but it needs to be like on the doorway. And then I don't like this, what we do here. we kind of just walk out, not moving our crosshair at all into where the danger could be. And on top of that as well, even if like after this break we had like a little break here. Why isn't it working? We've had like a little break after peeking like this. In that time, someone could have walked out and be watching this angle, right? So then you walking out and not clearing it basically means that, you know, if someone has re-explored this area, you're going to die to them. As well, you're also pressing the W key here. I can see it. You don't want to be W keying when you're swinging things. When you're swinging things, you don't really want to be W keying at all. You want to just be strafing. So it doesn't really help. Because right here, like you walking forward on the same time you're going to be swinging someone, you're kind of doing this sort of motion. And that's going to be easier for them to shoot you when you're like in this part of your motion. Because you're going to be moving towards them. You're going to be getting slightly bigger and also not moving very fast side to side. Which means it's going to be very easy for you to die to them if they're watching that angle. Okay, so here as well is like a really normal thing I see at lower elos where we put our crosshair in a position where we can see both areas like this, right? Because that's what you're doing, right? You're not looking at this, you're looking at these two areas here. And this is like, it's okay, but for the most part, you should be looking at one of the more dangerous angles. And if both are equally dangerous, you just have to pick one and off of either information you already have or just take the risk. In this round, I wouldn't be looking for this because it's a 5v5 and well, technically you should be the stronger person in the game or one of the strongest people in the game with like full armor and the bulldog or something because of your 3 kills last round. You can afford a higher gun as well. So taking this type of risk wouldn't be good if you had those weapons and you had that armor. Because you have a ghost and light armor, taking the risk is fine, especially because your teammate has just died. Okay, as well as a turret. Yeah, so yeah, I'm guessing you're not going to go for the flank now. Yeah, okay. So no, I really want you to work on. I think this would be the first thing. Let me just get the notepad out. The first thing, let me quickly as well hide it. Sorry, flashbang. Where's my notepad? It needs to be crosshair placement. That's like one of the biggest things right now, I think, because we can get that fixed as well quite fast, I think. Because right here, I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? There's no one here. But actually, I mean, technically there could have been because they had the site and they could have walked into market. Technically, there could be people there. But yeah, I think it's not that important right there anyway, but it is something we can work on. Okay. We kind of insta-crouched as soon as we saw that person, but it's okay. Yeah, once again, crosshair placement. We're kind of just moving our mouse like we're like a human in the real world rather than like a Valorant player. Our crosshair placement is not where the danger is. Once again, our crosshair placement's a bit low, but I understand the reason why it's low here is that you're thinking that they're going to be below. They're going to be like on this angle here, not this angle. Which is kind of the danger of this angle specifically, but usually when you're peeking that, you're going to be peeking. Unless you do have info, which you kind of did. Then you would be looking at the back angle anyway. That's probably a heal, not a immune. Okay, we actually ended up winning this. I killed one off. Anyone want this bed? So you were graded on the 3rd round. I don't particularly like this. I like bonusing. Bonusing, I think, is a lot stronger than buying on this round. I mean, it kind of depends on what you think you can do. And also what weapon you're buying. Like if you're buying an operator here, I feel like it's a lot more valuable. Maybe not so much on Reyna, because you know, Reyna is fine with the operator, but it's a lot more risky than say like a Jet, even a Waylay, or something like that, right? Yoru even is less risky than Reyna with the operator. So, but yeah, I think I prefer, if you want to upgrade here, it's the operator. If not, I would just keep the Spectre. Okay, so we didn't check the angle. I understand we do have the Phoenix watching this, so we're fine actually. Well, crosshair placement as well. I think right now as well, one of the things, this is definitely impacting our crosshair placement, is that I need to actually put this with it, is that we don't really be like our hand-eye coordination, or like our hands together aren't really moving correctly. Our hands together, like we're not really combining what our hands do together. You know what I mean? So like here, I can see like you're moving on your keyboard, right? You're moving your character, but your mouse is completely still. So your mouse hand isn't really reacting to what your movement is doing. Like you're not using them both together. You're using them separately. right now. So that's something we've also got to figure out on how to fix. And this should really come with, I think honestly over aiming is a really good one that can fix that. So we'll have to do that drill, I think. I like this play. I like this play. We are flanking a lot, but I actually don't mind it very much. I like the play that you go for here. Just like going aggressive on the Killjoy. Like I'm guessing that you assume that she was going to be there. Okay, I don't like the lack of. Okay, I didn't like the lack of aggression where you just kind of sat in the corner, looking at the floor. Once again, crosshair placement as well. But I'll at some point I'll stop mentioning the crosshair placement because it's going to come up a lot. But yeah, we just need to try and get this like it. It doesn't even have to be on her head because honestly she's in the off angle. So realistically, you want to put it like here. Realistically, right? And then just on the right height, I think for now is probably the best. And yeah, we just kind of use that for no reason, I guess. Maybe you were trying to get around the molly. Yeah, I think you're just trying to get through the molly. But you can just wait. You could have just waited for a fight. And that's like, Reyna doesn't have much in the way of like using your brain really in like how you play situations. But this is one of the few things that you can think about when playing Reyna, is that you see the orb has a timer. It's probably not the best because our teammate's name is underneath it, but let me see if I can get like a better, clearer shot of it. Like that maybe. You see this timer here underneath the orb. It's obviously like, yeah, it's a timer, right? So we can let this tick down for like almost the end, or almost to the end, and then use it, right? And we don't really cost ourselves anything by doing that, and it allows us to make probably the best potential decision we can with the heal and the dismiss, or we can just use it to like take the fight if we know that someone might come around the corner. So realistically in this situation, if I was put in this situation, I would probably just be waiting here, just waiting for someone to fight me. If they don't come around the corner and fight me, then I'm just going to press heal. If they do come around the corner and fight me, I'm going to try and take the fight, and if that fight seems like goes wrong, if I just want to fire like 2 bullets, I'll just dismiss away and probably go over to this corner here and then continue to fight this person, whichever way I see fit. Especially because as well, my teammates are going to be on a 3v2 on site. So then if I am fighting someone here, they're not fighting my teammates. So it's a 3v2 on site. My teammates should win that, and then we'll crunch the last player that I'm keeping occupied. So that's just like the way I would probably play it. Just off waiting out this timer, you can like make all those decisions basically. But we're just using our util a bit too hasty there, I think. Don't really care about our teammates. What are we doing now? I don't know, so our res is like super close together. So 4x3. Wait, did you just change res? As I mentioned res, we changed it. Did we change it? Or am I tripping? Or did you just tab out? Oh, that's tab out, right? Yeah, it's tabbed out. I think we changed it. I was like, oh my god. Oh, yeah, okay. So we're just late in the round. We're tabbed out, doing something here. And then across our placement's not ready for this. We have a knife out. Yeah, it's just not ready for the fight. Not aware of where the enemy can be. What rank was that? I thought it was gold. Yeah, it is gold. Gold 1. Oh, we have silver 2. That makes sense. Okay, next is we're gonna go Marshall. Yeah. So we like going to like a half buy. Yeah, this is fine. The buy is fine. I'm okay with the buy. Completely fine. I'm not sure if I like the position though. So I like the buy, but not the position. I would actually prefer Marshall. Okay, I was gonna say I prefer the Marshall here, and you've kind of seen why, right? The long angle favors the Marshall more so than the Stinger. If you wanted to go Stinger here, which I would prefer to go, I would go and play with Phoenix in main and not care about short, or I'd go B or something. I wouldn't go mid. I also wouldn't be pushing with the Marshall though. This is like uncharacteristic for what the Marshall wants to do, right? The Marshall wants to take long fights and wants to be quite slippery. Unlike the Operator, right? The Operator likes to take long fights and also kind of be slippery, but not really built for that either because it's not a very fast weapon. But the Marshall is like an in-between of the two, where it wants to take the long fights, but it also wants to be... Oh my god, that Clover's insane. But it wants to be not looking for a flank like this, right? I think you're maybe a bit too eager to flank a lot. It's not inherently bad, but it does get obvious to a point. So I would try and be a bit... try and be a bit more cautious about when you actually flank and have flank be a part of your gameplay, but don't flank every round. I understand like you're trying to be aggressive and take first fights and things. You're playing duelist, it kind of makes sense, but yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't do that type of thing with the Marshall, right? Because if you think about it, right, if we go back to this start of the round, if you're like let me I've just realized I've got muted, right? I'm guessing we can hear. Yeah, okay. We heard them spray here, so we actually know that there's at least one person A. So this kind of push, we know there's like at least one person A. We know 3 people right now. So immediately for me, this is like run back here, and this Marshall actually is going to do decent amount of work probably. As long as you're like fairly accurate with it, you're going to do some work when they come out on A. And because obviously, I mean, they probably will smoke you off, but maybe you'll get some spams. The Marshall's actually pretty decent at spamming because you can constantly reload per bullet. And it does a lot of damage to body, a lot of damage to head. So you can actually do some decent damage with spraying through if you know exactly where they're coming from, which you would, because this choke point's actually quite a good choke point to spam, even from this angle. So I would probably just stay short. You don't have to flank here. Regardless of the results of the flank, to be honest. I think the flank was bad either way. Simply because of what gun we had and also what circumstance we were in. But yeah. Next is another eco. So this is like a double eco or something. I don't really know what's going on with the economy. I'm not sure if it's actually that good to talk about the economy in Silver. I'm on the fence about it. I think it's good to like a certain extent to know what you're doing with your economy. Like to have like especially the first 3 to 5 rounds, like knowing what you're doing. But aside from that, oh my god. Aside from that, you don't really know you don't need to know too much until the mid ranges of solo queue. Yeah, so once again, our crosshair placement's a bit in the wall there. I'm not gonna worry about it. We've already talked about it a lot. And we'll talk about how we can help that as well. I've already got like 3 or 4 drills in mind that we can do. You should run. Okay, so this round is probably wraps. We need to try and make a play here probably. 4v4. The bomb's down, so it's more like a 4v5 in their favour. The killjoy ult is making it very, very difficult for us as well. We're detained. If you could have got backside, that could have been good. Like backside under. Honestly, I think you did pretty well here to get a kill. Your teammate also got a kill. Honestly, it was actually really good. I don't know what the Phoenix is doing, but we'll take it. Oh my god, what is going on? They just completely ignored you. Or didn't see you? That's crazy. Yeah, as well. We didn't need to dismiss there, but it's fine. It ended up not mattering, so it's all good. But yeah, this is crazy. What is that though? Okay.
B.
So we're going to A this round? Oh, I thought we were going to A side them. Okay. I mean, yeah, we are. A side. I'm actually boiled. I'm starting to boil in my room at the moment.
B.
It's absolutely boiling. Okay, so once again, we are flanking. I mean, the flank's gonna work. They don't really. The enemy team obviously just like hit sites and don't really try and do much else. So the flanks are gonna work. But I think if you play against like players that are a bit more defaulty, like they do a lot more around the map, have a bit more map control. Like Killjoy plays and lurks and plays away from their team and does things on the other side of the map, then you'll probably get caught off guard a lot. So yeah, once again, I think it's a bit too crazy to just kind of perma flank. I think the flank is kind of too much right now. I mean, it's not bad. It's just that it's not inherently, but it's just that if some people, like if they catch on, then you're going to be feeding probably. So once again, this is actually more fun because you you got that information with your team, and then you actually are not the one flanking. You're then your waylay flank and your clove flank, which is fine. And then not really flanking. They kind of just went too short. Crosshair placement there was a bit crazy, and the way we peek as well. Like this smoke is not very good one to peek through anyway, because you don't really have that much movement. Like you kind of have to peek a bit more in the middle of the balcony, so then you get a bit more movement range away from the certain fights. But yeah, you didn't really swing the smoke. You just kind of ran out the smoke. Our crosshair placements like in the wall. Come back. So there. And realistically, like maybe someone's here, maybe someone's like here. Those like the two probably main positions they'll be in. Unless you hear someone like draft up here or something, but they're not alive. At least there's no one on their team that can. So yeah, the crosshair placement is just not in the right place. Phoenix is just completely lost. Also, once again, yeah, we are just dismissing a bit too much overall. We're just dismissing too much. Because that could have been, I mean, it probably wasn't a heal. But it should have been like for instance, as I've already mentioned, you can just let the timer tick down before you use it, right? You've got plenty of time. So what I would do in this situation is very similar to the last one. I would give myself a lot more time. I would walk out and try and find info. And then as soon as I see someone, maybe I'll take one shot and then dismiss. And then I can dismiss into a position. And I have that info to take the fight. Or just take the fight and then dismiss when I start to lose or if I miss or something. And that can also work too. We're just going to dismiss into the fight and died. Instead, we could just use it in the fight. That's something that's really, really important on Reyna. Is to make sure we're using our orbs correctly. And that's kind of like the main takeaway I think for right now. One of the main takeaways for Reyna is orb management, I would call it. Or maybe not orb management, but like dismiss timing probably. Actually, it's probably a better one because orb management can mean something different too. So won't bother calling it that. Once again, crazy flank. I'm okay with it though. Ooh. I'm okay with it this time. Yeah, crosshair placement. We also insta commit to this fight like by crouching. When we see two people on the screen, usually it's quite bad to like commit to the fight because the second player, realistically, if they've got like some sort of aim, they're going to get the trade on you if you crouch on the first player. So when there's multiple players on the screen, try and be mobile. Try and be moving around, like taking like tap shots and counter strafing and that kind of stuff. Try and be like hard to kill, rather than committing to the first fight you see. You actually also don't actually do that much damage to the killjoy. You actually just body shot her for 40, which is crazy. And the thing is, in that situation, even more so, right? Not even knowing this, it would have been so much easier because you would have fired one bullet. You would have insta-loaded the bullet, regardless if it was a headshot or body shot, and then you would be moving on the next kill, like moving on the next person to then aim at this person and kill them. So it would have been a lot easier if you were just moving around.
Where is that for?
We'll watch our teammates. Not important. Oh my god, it's a clutch. 1v1. Oh my god, still going. And then we're unlucky. Okay. Then we start A main. Okay, so here we I understand kind of what's going on here, right? So our crosshair placement isn't great. First of all, it should be like head height. Second of all, as well, we're not really expecting anyone to be here, are we? So I'm guessing what you want to do is you want to fight this angle. So realistically, what you should do, if you want to fight it on second one, then you would just be pre-aiming it. So you pre-aim it like through the wall, basically. Because what you end up doing instead is you kind of do the pre-aim and the movement in one motion, instead of doing like the pre-aim first and then move into an angle. I'll talk about it a bit later, maybe in a bit better of a in a way, but this is something that happens a lot for a lot of players. So in pro play, for instance, I can show you what people do when they want to pre-aim angles like this. And to be honest, you kind of do there anyway. You kind of just, it's kind of weird that you just kind of was looking at the floor to the left first. Like you're kind of doing it here. Like this is how you peek this angle, if you want to peek it. But then you kind of start off with like this weird, like looking at the floor to the left. Yeah, so we don't really check anything. which is prime time for us to die. We didn't check this either. I mean, it's unlikely they're there because honestly, the enemy team have just been 5-manning every single site. So honestly, checking stuff, don't really blame you not checking stuff. I think it's completely fine. It's just that I feel like it's more that you forgot and then checked afterwards rather than actively thinking that they won't be there. Okay, so they know you're here. Yeah, that makes sense. So when you're running it, like when you're on a flank, right? You've been flanking a lot, but something that's really important is this same bubble, like the same circle around you on the minimap. This is like the radius that you'll get heard on. So if you are running here, which you are, it means that people within the circle can hear you, and there could be like some people here that can hear you flanking right now. But then the important thing is that the Phoenix, you also see it's Phoenix. I mean, you might expect to fight here, but probably not because your Clove is ahead of you. So realistically, you should be looking at the map here, regardless if it's gun out is or not. So now you know that it's Phoenix, and you know that he can hear you right now. So you either try and walk before he actually hears you after the gunfight, which is possible, or you just don't run at him here, or because realistically, right, you're just running at him. You know he's Phoenix. You're gonna get flashed. You're gonna get flashed. He knows you're there. So it's like almost a guarantee that he knows that you're there. He's gonna flash you. Almost a guarantee it's gonna transpire this way. So what you could do as well, you could be fast. You could like walk into him, but then also be ready for the flash. So then you can turn it. But I don't expect that to happen for... Honestly, even at my elo, I don't think many people can turn Phoenix flashes. So maybe if they predict it's coming though, which realistically we can do here. So yeah, I realistically what you should do, try not to say realistically too much, but also try to walk when you're flanking a lot more, because you do seem in a rush a lot of the time to flank, and it gets you killed like this. Even as well before with the Clove kill, right? I'm not sure where it was. What we at 1441. Here, right? Even with the Clove kill, so you were walking here, but you already made noise. You made noise killing the drone, killing the turret, and you ran here as well. You can also see that Clove was probably in this part of the circle, maybe here when you were making the send. So running here kind of did nothing, right? And then you actually walked around. You walked around the corner, kinda. So they actually already knew that you were there because of all the running anyway. So yeah, that's also something that got you killed back then, and it's also reappeared now. It's 1441. So you just want to be careful of making sure, like, of your same bubble and what people should be aware of when you are flanking or what you're doing. We should close both doors and instantly shoot them, so they can't when they plant. You know, it's okay. It's a strategy that I don't particularly think is... I mean, realistically, it's just not worth it. Like, because something that you don't realize when you're closing the doors and shooting them. And while it is an advantage for the attackers to have those doors in some cases, it's also an advantage to them when you're instantly closing both doors, because it gives them info that two players are spending their time closing and destroying those doors rather than doing something else. So then it only leaves question marks on 3 players on the map. And sometimes they can even put it down to a player that isn't the anchor that's doing that. So it may reveal 3 people on the map already, maybe even 4, by just closing doors. So it really depends on who's closing doors as well and like what gun they're using. So to be honest, at this elo, they probably won't be thinking about who's closing the door based on what gun they're using. But yeah, for the most part, it's fine to do this. Probably at lower elos it works, but I'd be careful doing it at, like, when you start to get higher up, because people will then start punishing you for knowing where you're positioned at the start of rounds. Let's keep it in our team chat. You put it in all chats, realized. Wanted you to know. Fair enough. Okay, once again, we're on the flank. This time we are walking. We're not ready for any fights we're taking. To be honest, you actually did not too bad here. So, honestly, you didn't peek this too badly. And the reason for that is because we don't know where anyone is on this wall. So when we, like, peek this wall, they could be anywhere across this wall and on the back wall like this, right? They could be anywhere. So going smooth like this, ideally, obviously, we don't want our crosshair in the wall. A very small amount of time do you want the crosshair to be in the wall when you're actually like looking for fights. So realistically, your crosshair should be here. But then the smooth motion of you going around the wall was actually quite good if your crosshair was like on the wall itself, right? That would have been fine. Crosshair placement was looking a bit weird there, but then it's fine now. Right here is something we can sort of so once again, in some ways, so this is sort of changed in some ways. So here's the sort of the same as the previous wall, right? We can kind of go with like a smooth motion, but as soon as we know that this doorway is here, we should probably stop the small motion because this is an on angle, and this on angle can have someone just like watching it, right? Usually it's not going to happen because it's post plant, and post plant positioning, usually people aren't just going to be sitting there watching this. Sometimes they're going to be more in these off angles over here. But what we can do is we can do a silent swing, which is essentially taking one step, which is silent, and then swinging this, right? And then you'll probably carry on doing like the smooth motion because they could be anywhere on this off angle. And then check the corner afterwards. Our crosshair placement's too low. We didn't check the corner properly. The corner is still unchecked, so you could die from behind here. You didn't because there was no one there, but that's fine. That's not too bad to get this positioning. But realistically, I think realistically what you should have done is you should have done that and peeked lane and then dismissed if you saw anyone, or dismissed if you want to just like take a shot, dismiss, and then run away slightly and then retake the fight or something like that. So this is like one of those problems that we have as well with dismiss, that we just kind of use it without thinking. I've also noticed as well, we have not used our flash yet, not a single time. And the flash is like one of the main parts. It probably is the most powerful part of Reyna, unfortunately, for Reyna. But yeah, we probably should be using our flash to take fights here. So right here is a perfect time to flash. We would have blinded that person, and Phoenix would have blinded them afterwards, probably. Don't know where that guy's going.
I think they're both
Wow. Yeah, we probably should just be fighting with our teammates here. The reload is on 9 bullets. Maybe that's fine. But what I would do here, instead of going towards the bomb, if you have a blind left, just blind inside the boathouse, right? So I feel like we're not really using our util. When we do use our util, we're dismissing into enemies and just kind of dying sometimes. So okay, we're flanking again. Yeah, so realistically, if this clove was a bit better, we would be dead. But we just kind of reacted faster, even though they had the advantage on the peak. I mean, they were also warp peaked, so not necessarily had the big advantage. Here as well, we can see, I can kind of see that you kind of, so what you're doing here is something that is a good habit and a bad habit at the same time. So you like the thought process of what you're doing is quite good, but what you're actually doing is not good. So you're breaking it up into steps. So you did this on the A main as well, where you kind of just like sat into the corner and then looking down at the wall next to you that you're going to think about peeking next, and then you did the peek, right?
So go join Phoenix.
So what you've done here is you broke up the peak into steps, right? That's what you did, right? You did the first step, which is like stand in the corner looking at this point in the floor, and then you swung. You did that on A as well. So the important thing for me now is to kind of get you to think about it in a different way, or to break it up in a different way. So what I would do is I would break it all up even like smaller, basically. When you want to peek an angle,
So go join Phoenix.
the first thing on the checklist is to think about where you want to peek. So where you want to peek. Where to peek. Pretend that's good writing. Where to peek. And then when you've thought about that, you want to make sure your crosshair placement is good for that, basically. So we want to peek this angle over here, this sort of little angle here. So we want to put our crosshair at head height for that angle. And then we want to think about our movement. So we're going to swing out. with our crosshair placement in the right place. And that swing has to be with our side keys or our side directional movement. Side direction, I'll put. Side direction. So we only use, for me, it's A and D. It depends on the keyboard, I think, on language and that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I think some keyboards are slightly different with that stuff. But yeah, it's A and D, side direction. Only swing with these. Do not swing with W. So no W and no S at all. That's an S, by the way. No S, no W, no S at all. And then what you want to do is you want to, once the crosshair is on, so, well, say once the crosshair's on the head, but what you need to do next is micro adjust. So when you see someone, you will micro adjust onto the head. Onto head. That says onto head, apparently. Onto head. And then you'll stop. So stop moving. Stop moving. I'll put stop moving. Stop moving. And then shoot. And then after that, you'll go into counter strafe. So then after that, it's counter strafe. Counter strafe. That's what I want you to break it up to. Obviously, that's quite a lot of stuff to break it down to, but I wanted to break it down super small, to kind of get an idea of like what you want to do, right? Because right now, what we're doing is we're doing a lot of Can I get this even bigger? Because right now we're doing a lot of well, not doing a lot of. Sorry, we're doing a very small amount of breaking it down. We're doing like two big steps in our movement or on our swing, rather than breaking it down to what its like core pieces are. And to be honest, you didn't do too bad overall there. It's just that it's not exactly like against a player that was a bit more ruthless than the ISO, a bit better. You would have died on like the first swing probably, because he would have been shooting back and he wouldn't have been swinging at such a stupid angle, right? Basically, like he wouldn't have been going and swinging like that. He would have been a bit more. He would have been a bit more like Killjoy actually. Like he would have been swinging into the angle and stopping when he sees you, rather than doing what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. Then after that, the heal's fine. The heal's fine, but swinging isn't the best. Killjoy actually is going to try and hunt you there, so honestly, either way, I think you still just heal and try and tuck as far into the right corner as possible. Just to waste more time, right? You're on a 4v3, and your teammates can walk into B at this point, knowing that you've got one person there, so it's a 3v2 on site. So, realistically, just try and play your life here, is the play. You can even, to be honest, you don't even have to heal here, actually. What you can do is, once again, you can just manage the orb correctly as well. Like, because you saw the Killjoy before, you know that she's probably going to come in for a trade. You can actually see her foot here. But that's obviously not something you would really react to in the moment, as fast as, like, her swinging anyway. But yeah, you can just use your management here. As soon as you see the Killjoy, dismiss and go to mid like this, and just play for your life a lot more and play time. The heal and tucking right is also fine, but I think it's a lot more committal anyway. So honestly, realistically, like on first glance, I probably would have done the heal and tuck right, but having broken it down, waiting for the fight to then dismiss and go into mid is probably the better play. So I'm not sure if I would have made the right play actually at the time, but the correct play definitely was to manage your orb correctly as well, which is honestly very obvious for Reyna as well, because it's literally all of her thought processes around her orbs, and her, to be fair, and her flash. Her flashes have quite a bit of thought process to it, but it's not like I say that it's not really. It's just like kind of just flash angles you need to go into. Ideally combine it with another flash. That's kind of what her flash is. Okay, so what do we do at the start? We're gonna go mid. Do we swing mid, or do we go B soon? We do swing mid, but then we don't commit to the fight. Your crosshair placement wasn't too bad there. I think just the movement was not good. So you can see, actually, I mean, it was close. It was close. You kind of went diagonal for like a tiny bit of this angle here, but the rest of it you went sideways, which is fine. Just remember, like, if you want to peek somewhere, so if you want to peek like this angle, right? Instead of going like this, you want to go like this. This is good. This one here is good. That's meant to be a tick. That's good. And this is bad. This is bad. Do not do like this like type of movement. Do this type of movement. That's what you want to do. Because it's faster on their screen. What you want to do. Any type of like L shape of that will work. It doesn't have to be an L shape because you don't really have to go close to the angle either. You can just do straight to the side as well. Maybe a bit committed here for ISO shield. But yeah, that's fine.
Oh, ISO's pushing.
It worked, I guess. We'll take it. And the heal's so low now on Reyna. What's that placement? We didn't even check if there was anyone. I mean, to be fair, it is Phoenix walled, but realistically, your crosshair should be here, right? This is like the scariest position because there could be someone looking past that wall. Okay, then we're on people on site. Yeah, okay. We react very like we react by pressing all of our buttons, right? We just need to, I think, chill and like it might be something we do on DM, but it might be something that we need to do in ranked. This is probably tied to your rank and like wanting to be better and wanting to improve and also wanting to get a higher rank in general. That you're putting a lot of pressure on the fights. And so I can see it here. As soon as you see this person, it's like insta mouse movement react, shoot at the same time, crouch at the same time, and just like start spraying the guy. And this just shows like we probably need to start like making sure we're not putting so much pressure on ourselves to perform. Because it seems like you're not really breaking down how to improve and like what to improve and that kind of stuff. You're just kind of playing Valorant, if that makes sense. Like you're just like, it's all feel, no thought. Well, it seems like to me. So yeah. So that's going to be breaking down gunfights, I think. I think you've seen calm aim before. People talk about calm aim like constantly. That's essentially what it is, but not like that. What we need to do. Breakdown fights. What we're going to do.
Okay.
It is kind of like calm aim. But it's not the way that people always talk about it.
Killjoy put her bot up backwards.
The Killjoy's been doing that all game, by the way. Because you're putting the bot up backwards. Okay. We're kind of lucky to get one.
Put her bot up backwards.
I think there's a chance you can dismiss there.
Killjoy put her
it might be a bit too soon. Yeah, we can dismiss. We can just about dismiss this, I'm pretty sure. It's really close. If you're just spamming, you'll dismiss. This might be personal preference as well. But I prefer to have dismiss on something that isn't Q&E. Because I find Q&E to be harder to press when I want to be moving in directions. So I usually put my movement ability on C. Because I don't press any of my movement keys with my thumb. And I press C with my thumb. So I usually like to have my movement ability on C. That might just be personal preference though. I mean, it is personal preference. I see pros with E and Q anyway for their movement abilities. So it is what it is, you know. It's just whatever you're used to. I personally like it that I don't have to press directional keys with the same key. But I just find it more. I mean, it's just to me, it's more logical to me. But it's people obviously think differently.
So
next is a buy round.
we're gonna.
So we're not bonusing again. I think bonus is very good here. I would bonus a lot more. I think that's one of the things we take away. Okay.
ISO and Reyna are A.
Crosshair placement. The thing is, though, crosshair placement, like, you kind of know where you want to aim. Obviously. But, like, it's like...
ISO and Reyna are A.
Like, I can see here. I mean, obviously, a crosshair placement could be better here. But especially here. Because this angle's open. Then you're kind of aiming upwards, even though it's not in the angle. Like, you aim upwards here to this angle. Like, towards this angle. But it's not on the angle. So you're kind of aware that it's there. You're just not aware that it's there. You're aware that the height elevation is there, but you're not aware that the actual angle's there. That makes sense?
I'm leaving.
And then, honestly, it's kind of a miracle you get this kill, I'll be honest.
Seems like she was
I feel like Reyna had a lot more of an advantage on you. Once again as well. Bit too... I think honestly, the dismiss, insta dismisses...
I'm leaving.
Might well be the same thing as the aim, where you're kind of just very scared about losing fights that you just insta dismiss.
Seems like she was by herself.
So yeah, it's gonna be like calm aim type deal. Get the strafe.
Was she
So this is going to be one of those things in DM. It's not something that unfortunately I can't demonstrate very well because my DMs are just complete garbage. But let me open up Valorant. I want to make sure it's hidden. Okay. Let me look at that fight again. I think you fought. Okay, create spray. Once again, dismiss was kind of useless. Didn't do anything there.
Was she set up?
Here was probably better because no one was there. Oh, one tap. Damn, the Killjoy one tapped. That's crazy. I'm opening my Valorant now. Real quick. Our buy is. Oh wait, that wasn't even us. Our buy is fine. So we got insta killed here. So we go mid. We ult. Oh, I don't like the Killjoy. I don't like the clove smoke. I hate that smoke. That smoke is garbage. Garbage smoke. To be honest. Everyone. So many people do it as well. It's so annoying. Okay. So we're just not aware of the fight. We're just not aware of the fight. Our movement is not aligned with our shooting. So we're just not ready for the fight. We didn't swing the angle properly. So we're just W keying on the angle. Not good. It's W key. Dead. Is what it is. See if we can find respawn. Okay, you got the gun. That's such a banging gun, that gun is. I've got, sorry, I need to, oh, not that. I need to, sorry. Need to really quickly just mute my audio on Valorant. So I can actually not hear it. There we go. Okay, so we take mid. Clove is fighting. We're taking like this mid area. Get one. Not bad, not bad.
To the left, left.
The actual fight was fine.
Phoenix Market.
I mean, I kind of messed up by jumping off the planter, but we don't have the bomb. So they might be trying to fight for the bomb.
Bottom mid.
Clove smoked that. It's kind of good. Oh. Yeah, that can make sense. We're just kind of. We're just stomping around a lot. Like we're not really aware of the enemy team, like what they can do. It feels like awareness of the enemy team, and also like our sound bubble as a result. Sound. I'll call it a bubble, but it's probably not actually a bubble. It's not radius really, but I'll call it a bubble. Sound radius isn't like we just kind of stomp around and get killed like that. And it happens multiple times this game. So I imagine it happens decent amount where people just swing off your sound and you die. Because you're kind of just giving away. I think it happens here as well. That we step, we drop up. Yeah, we just made sound here for no reason. Even our team are clearly contacting until that guy presses orb as well. On. Hey, it's fine.
I think you're about to get slow.
Oh, no one checked corners.
I don't know where she is.
I think you're about to get slow.
Yeah, we could have
I think you're about to
been a bit more aggressive here, I think. We're maybe a bit too passive, considering we're Reyna. Then our teammates take all the fights.
I tried to close door. I don't know where she is.
Yeah, so this is also once again symptom of the crouch spray. Symptom of the crouch spray. You became a very easy target. You can see that the clove didn't even start shooting once you were crouched. Like, you were crouched already, and then the clove started shooting. Obviously, it's kind of unlucky to die to the first bullet while they're running, but at the same time, it's only made easier by you being completely stationary. So, yeah. And the bullets don't evaporate, so, you know, where do you expect them to go? Obviously, the face is unlucky, but it is what it is. Yeah, they're crouching a bit too often, overall, I think. Oh, that's so funny. Sorry, it's just the way that you threw it. It's so funny. It's so good. I don't know why it's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah, so once again, I might be making you head up of this, but you're running around, so it's obvious that you're here, obviously, because he can hear it. So he's gonna flash you, because he knows that you're there. So this walking doesn't even make a difference, right? Because the same bubble, the same radius, he's already there. He's already in that same radius, therefore he knows you're there. He knows he can hear you. So just be aware of your sound. So it seems like you're not very aware of like the enemy team's placement, like where they can be, and also the enemy team, and then your sound. So then you're kind of running around when they can clearly hear you, and you're expecting them not to be able to hear you. So I think it's just a combination of not really knowing where the enemy team are gonna play, like not trying to visualize like where are they actually playing in the round, and as well as not understanding your own sound. It's fine. Yeah, so I would probably swing, but it's fine. You had the idea, it just didn't happen. Teammates just smurfed around. Okay, so we go B. Crosshair placement. Crosshair placement there as well. You see, when you swung. Once again, as well, it's exactly the same sort of setup you do, but you kind of look into the general direction, don't move mouse, towards like the opening, I guess, and then you start swinging and running at the same time. Like you start swinging and then mouse moving at the same time. It's like exactly the same every time, and it's not a very good habit. You've broken it down, but not correctly, which is fine, to be honest. Breaking it down is a good thing. So if I know that you can break it down on your own, it should make it easier when you know what to break down. Yeah, our crosshair placement is too low. You kind of fix it, but it's kind of for Shaq. It's a bit too high. But yeah, that's fine. It's not that high. It's oh, okay. Okay, nice trade, I think. Seemed like a good trade. Yeah, you're kind of running when the fight starts. Yeah, I like that. And the dismiss was good. I mean, the dismiss, I'll be honest. You dismissed kind of before this was reacted to. You would have reacted to it. Yeah, I mean, it was a good dismiss, but it was kind of by accident, I think. Because it was kind of like, there's no way you're reacting to that. No one's reacting to that fast.
Reina's hit
but yeah, that good dismiss overall.
She might have failed though.
Oh, okay. So this isn't really the gun to spray with. If you want to spray like this, you want to go with the Phantom. But even then, spraying at this range is not very good. It's not really that good to spray in general in this game, a huge amount anyway. It kind of depends on the situation, and it depends on your movement, right? I think the problem is you're just committing too much to an ISO shield. If this guy's ISO shield, right, he's got an extra bullet on you. So committing to a fight against him is usually going to end up with it going in his favour, regardless of if you also miss all your spray. So what I would do, just try and be a bit more mobile in fights as well. No, just throw that in. Mobility in fights, because that has been a thing as well throughout the game. Win this? They don't. Okay, wait, we already died. I went too fast. Yeah, that clove smoke is terrible. Don't like it. I mean, to be honest, that's kind of how you do smoke short, but I just don't like smoking short on solo queue. I think it's not great in pro either, really. I think the smoke just doesn't do a whole lot compared.
Killjoy is B.
Like you can just move from a different angle at the start by face and fixes it.
B.
That's me waffling. Okay. Yeah, so once again, we're not really caring about what can be heard, because right here, the Reina is probably here, and they've just heard you run into lower mid, like mid one. So this flash into swing is normal. This happens a lot as well. Like this happened to you by Phoenix a lot, and now it's happening to Reina as well, where the Reina knows where you are, but you don't know where they are. You're just actively giving them the information by running up mid for like no reason, and giving them that information, and not really having the idea of like where they could be. You're just kind of running into them and dying, and not really having a clue where they could be. So we'll fix that as well.
Well, except for Killjoy.
But to be honest, that one is one that's a lot more embedded in playtime, where you'll get used to where enemy team, like where players will play throughout the games. But what a good way to like kind of get good at it is to every buy phase, at the start of the buy phase, Just trying to think like where the enemy team are playing. Just go through every agent and just be like, where were they playing last round? And it will give you an idea of where they could play this round. Just make the habit of it as well. Literally commit a whole game to nothing else but just trying to figure out where the enemy team is in the buy phase. At the start of the buy phase. I wouldn't do it now though. I'll probably a bit later down the line. I think our main goal is to get mechanics up, like our crosshair placement. You can see here as well, crosshair placements. Not great, right? But realistically, right, if someone was going to flash through this, Phoenix was going to flash through. I mean, to be honest, if Phoenix was going to flash through this, you probably be dead. But if you had a chance of killing him through the flash, that chance would be to have correct crosshair placement. Can't speak. So you just want to put it higher, like this, onto that guy's head. If he tried to flash through, because especially as well, like, oh my god, walking through this smoke is crazy. Because imagine Clove in here with a shorty, or you would just be dead. So you want to be careful of like walking through smokes like this. Like maybe flash is probably what you want to do. What? Yoink. Okay, didn't res. Didn't use our thing, that's good. I'm happy that we didn't insta-use dismiss. Honestly, we got kind of lucky that Clove was like crosshair in the wall for some reason. So that's nice. It ended up being a good kill. We just, once again, crosshair placement wasn't on our side, but our adjustment was good. Like, we kind of just instantly went on the head, which is fine. One tap. The gestures. Okay. One body shot. Just be careful of doing the crouch spray again. We got kind of lucky there that he got low from the Phoenix. The long range crouch spray with the Vandal usually isn't very good.
And Phoenix is B.
Good info. Yeah, we don't need to be hunting this fight.
Very
similar to the start of the game. 4v2.
And Phoenix is B.
We have the advantage in we know that A site's clear, so we can go get the bomb planted, making it like essentially a 5v2 because the bomb generally counts as a player. So we're at a big advantage here. We don't really need to be hunting deaths.
They're both.
Oh, we actually get the wrong info because. Oh wait, no we don't, because Clove res, my bad. Oh, they're actually both mid. I didn't realize Clove was dead. I don't think they realized because they were just like running with the bomb towards A. That's weird. Wait, did we not notice the killjoy? You see the killjoy here? And we're not really ready for it. That's weird. Just try and be more aware of your surroundings there, I guess. But this dismiss is fine, considering we know the killjoy is here. But realistically, we had no reason to do this. So once again, like, it's about saving the orb, right? Save the orb. Because realistically, if no one was there and it was just a Phoenix, you could have healed before he came out of his ult and then flash her in the corner. You could have got some healing done before you actually would have taken another fight. But because Killjoy's there, you would have noticed the Killjoy and then dismissed after noticing her. Instead, you just could have dismissed and then... yeah, that sort of happened. You know, you didn't really have dismiss for the Killjoy fight. Okay, nice. Teammates win. Okay. I'm gonna quickly see if that was Waylay's for yours. I hate to break it to you, but I guess it's kind of both. It's a bit of both. Like, as you know, she was running the whole time. Never mind. It's not really your fault. It's just that running like this against this Phoenix, against this Reyna, haven't worked out well so far. So doing that seems kind of crazy. They're very good at taking the fights off your sound players. Yeah, that's nice. That was good crosshair placement actually, but it's kind of how we got there wasn't good. Once again, you were kind of doing that thing where you're kind of like looking off into the sunset, or like on the floor, and then you like take the swing and movement at the same time. You actually W keyed in the angle there as well. So trying to avoid the W keys. Dismiss didn't really do anything. We know that someone's probably not going to be there because the killjoy ult anyway. The crosshair placement wasn't as good as I thought it was. It was not bad, but it was yeah, you had to do micro just upwards to get there. And on top of that as well, it didn't really move. You didn't really get it there in the smoothest of ways, obviously, because you probably should have just been pre-aiming. Not bad to tap fire here, but I'm unlucky on the aim. But honestly, that was good. That was good. The crouch I'm not too fond of, but you can't. I mean, it's not terrible sometimes to crouch in fights, like especially as well because Right, actually, fully enough, I think crouch is good. Because they missed on the initial counter strafe here, the micro adjust probably would be that they're going to be on your head next shot. So this crouch actually does dodge the bullets, I'm pretty sure. Or at least it should do. I'm not sure if it actually did. Didn't look like it did, because you did get hit once, and the other bullet didn't look like it was going to hit.
There's
so
two running at A.
yeah, the actual actually the fight there was well played movement
They're
wise.
going CT.
Aside from I mean, it was well played movement wise. Actually, it was just aim there was the problem.
Sounds like there's two running at A.
And then we're not aware that they could be moved up with this Phoenix wall, with Phoenix wall.
They're going CT.
So once again, we're not really aware of the positioning of our enemies, of like what they could do, what they could potentially do, where they could be. So we need to try and get that going. And for the most part, it is literally, as I've already mentioned, playtime. Especially in situations like that, it's playtime. But you can learn like initial positions on the map a lot easier by thinking about it in buy phase for like a couple games, like dedicating to that. Hey, do you win this? Wait, you win this? There's not enough time on the VOD. Video pops off. Wait, what? Okay, good. Well played by the Killjoy. Okay, nice. Okay, so it's what I've got on my notes real quick, and then we'll quickly move on to Valorant to talk about some stuff. So, flanked too much. We flanked a lot overall. And I'll just have it. This is mainly on defense. We put defense. Defense. That's not how you say it. Spell defense. Defense. And realistically, you want defense. Sorry, I can't speak today. You want flanking to be like a supplement to your gameplay, not like what you do all the time. Because flanking will be very, very obvious and very punishable eventually to some players. So you want to be very careful when you actually flank. Next is random dismiss timing. And we've already talked about that a lot, but it's basically waiting for your orb to tick down and to use it in a correct way. So try and take a fight with the orb. Don't just like instantly use the orb. Don't feel the need to use the orb that gets left behind after a kill as Reyna. Don't feel the need to use it instantly, because you don't. Right? You can just use it to dismiss. You can use it to heal, and you can use it to, obviously, I'm so freaking stupid, but you can use it to. You can make better decisions surrounding those two abilities if you just let it sit there for a second, basically, and to not exactly need to think about it, but to put yourself in, like, if you're not in a position where you immediately need to use it, right, then you can just wait for that opportunity to use it, is what I'm trying to say. But I'm just stupid and I can't speak today. Breakdown fights. So I've already talked about the breakdown of the fights, and I've got drills to help that. Karma and Counter Strafe, it's kind of the same thing as this, but it's just kind of, we need to incorporate multiple different things into our gameplay, because right now I think we're very habit orientated. We have so many habits, and they're like dictating the way we play so strongly, because we have like the flank too much, and we have the way we fight is basically the same every time. Like I did see that, like the last round, we fought differently here. It's like the first time. This is like the second way we fought in the entire VOD, right? We basically the entire time we crouch sprayed as soon as we saw people insta shoot. But here we actually did tap fire at some point and start moving around. I mean, actually, kinda. We didn't fully crouch for the entire thing, basically. Awareness of team I was saying, but I've already said, already done with that. I put and as well to make that a real sentence. Yeah, awareness of what the enemy team can be. I've already talked about the way to fix this is to think about it at the start of every buy phase. Think like, where's the enemy team positioned, and also think about your actual sound surrounding that. So like, don't run if they can hear me on the map over here, or whatever. Right? If we actually want to be sneaky about it, but if we don't, obviously just run in. Mobility in fights. So that's what we've already talked about a tiny bit with like counter strafing here. I think the main one was it was the clove on the start of when we're attacking into ascent. Not sure when that was. Don't remember. When we like crouch committed, is this one?
I think you're about to get slow.
But like here, let me. Not that. Oh, it's not let me. Oh, that's not good. Let me move this. Let me do this. Probably better actually that I do have it quite small like this. Actually, that's quite a nice place to put it. You can see here, you were crouched before like you even released shot. Like it was like marginally before you shot. Like there, it's kind of at the same time. You like crouch shot at the same time, and then Clove just has an easy kill on you. So the crouch is like these types of habits that you have. Like you have really strong habits in the game, and they're not really helping you very well. So we'll talk about how to kind of break out them, I think, here. So I'm gonna go to Valorant. There are aim lab stuff we can do as well. Let me quickly go. Wait, my Valorant's not showing. I think I need to click onto it. Hang on. There we go. Maybe. There you go. Okay, so we're going to Valorant, and I do have two. There are two aim lab stuff we can do. I'll put it in YouTube chat because that's where I assume you're going to be watching it. I can't put it in YouTube chat for some reason. Oh, I can. There we go. I think it's VT adjust track. I think is what it's called. I think it's adjust track Valorant. I can't quite remember it. VT adjust track Valorant. In aim labs. And there's also, I like VCTA. You'll know which one it is. It's like a 6-shot one, and it has really small orbs. I think these two ones would help. Yeah, I think so. With the Yay one, don't go for speed, don't go for high score, go for accuracy. Just try and get your accuracy there, because it's a bit mouse control. These two are. I want you to have good mouse control. And the Yay one, this probably is a bit too much of a push. If you find like you're really having a struggle with the Yay one, just move on to like a standard grid shot or something, and then try and move on to the Yay one eventually. VCTA, I think it's literally called VCTA. I'm pretty sure, but yeah, just try and do those two if that's what you want for aim labs. But yeah, you can do them all in game as well. You can do a bunch of stuff in game as well. Let me open my Discord. Oh, I've got an E still here. How long's that E's been there? I mean, it's not been there for too long. Okay. What's happening on Discord? Okay, let me go on Valorant. Okay. So, the first thing is I need to. One more Phoenix. I need to be Cypher.
My ultimate is
so there's a couple of drills we can do. I think the main two drills that I want to show, and then there's one in DM. The first one is the over aim one. So I'm gonna do this in the practice, and the main thing is that we want to. Actually, I'm not gonna do in practice. I need the easy bots. We'll do it with Sheriff. So with this, right, it's all about getting the movement down first. So we want to move opposite side to the bot. So if it was left, I'll be moving right. If it's left again, I'll move right. If it's left, or if it's right, I'll move left. And there you go. And then we want to try and over aim towards the bot. So by over aiming, I literally mean you want to aim past the bot. And we're not going to do the movement for this. We're going to combine that in a second. So we're just going to move and aim past the bot like this. If you do miss, you saw me miss there. If you miss like this, whatever, try and just micro just past the bot. Micro just past the bot. For now, anyway. You might do the micro just after the movement anyway, so we'll see. But yeah, if you want to do it like so then eventually you should look like this with the movement. If you do miss the bot, like if you miss like under aim, okay, I can't under aim that one very easily. Let me see if I can under aim one. RNG, there we go. If you miss like this, just micro just onto the bot's head. Actually, don't try and micro just past the bot. I think it's actually a bit too awkward. And yeah, that's literally should be the drill. And then you want to shoot, and the crosshairs on the head. Make sure you're stopping first, obviously. And micro just when needed. And you should be able to get 38 to 30 on easy, and then 38 to 38 medium, and then hard is quite hard. After that. Okay, so that's one drill. Second drill is going to be the drill that you may have seen called, it's like the tripwire drill or something. I'm not sure what people actually call it, but it's basically one to help you with counter strafe. You can do one with the wall as well. Do a one with the wall, but basically the idea is you want to shoot in the center of this door, and you want to do it in a way that making sure you have the shooting aerograph on. You already have it on, I'm pretty sure. And you want to just try and get basically counter strafe in a way on the same part of the door that is past the 2 lasers on the trips. That's what you want to do. And ideally it should look something like this. You can also get a metronome as well if you're having struggles like keeping like a rhythm. But yeah, it should look like this. Ideally have no blue. I've got a bit of blue there because I was like rushing through it. But yeah, you should ideally have no blue on the shooting aerograph. And it's just about trying to get your movement warmed up, and also the overaim drill does this as well. It's trying to get your mouse and your mouse hand and your keyboard hand to work together. Because it's I think one of the biggest things I saw in a lot of the habits you had and the routines you had when you were fighting things, is that you were splitting up your movement and your aim a lot, and you were splitting them up so it looked intentionally to me with the way you were kind of like doing this before swinging a corner and then swinging the corner. It looked like you were like doing it intentionally to like break those 2 things up. So I would just try and just try and do these drills and try and get your mouse hand and your keyboard hand to kind of work together. With the overaim drill as well should obviously help with that as well. And we can do the one with the Sage as well. Like the peak drill with Sage, where you put the wall right, don't you, like this? And you can just basically just peek the wall. I'm pretty sure actually you meant to do it on the, if I can write this. Pretty sure you meant to do it on you can do it on eliminate 50 or eliminate 100. Then when you hear the bot spawn, you just go like this. I didn't hear it spawn that time. Yeah, some of that, right? Pretty sure that's a pretty good drill. I don't really recommend that drill. You can probably tell by the way I explained it. I don't really recommend that drill too much. But it is one you can do. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that drill. I prefer the Cypher one. The Cypher trip one. I think it's better. Next is DM. A DM drill. And then we'll talk about some stuff for solo queue. I mean, I'll talk about it now in queue. The solo queue stuff is literally when you go into a game of solo queue, treat it like a learning experience rather than a way to lose RR or gain RR or whatever, right? Try and take as much pressure out of the equation as possible. Don't try and put value on like climbing and stuff. Put value on improving, and that should help you with like a bit more of the pressure of like performing in ranked. Because ideally you want it all to be a learning experience. Another way you can do this as well is that at every rank game, like before every rank game, try and give yourself a goal for that rank game. So think about it like this, right? Try to think of what an actual goal could be for you, which is like knowing where the enemy positions are, right? That's probably the one I've already actually talked about. Where try and before you go into like the rank game, say like this game I'm going to focus on where the enemy positions are going to be at the start of every round, right? So I'm going to every buy phase I'm going to try and improve that. You can also give yourself a secondary objective as well of trying to counter strafe correctly, or like try and like have like calm aim, so you're going to always do the drill that I'm about to show you now. So in this drill, what you want to do is you want to focus on head height for every corner, right? So on this corner I'm going to focus on head height, go around the corners like this, making sure my crosshair does not go into the wall. And then when I feel like I'm going to be on an angle, I'm actually going to go and put my crosshair in the wall. So when I'm going to be like an active angle, I'm putting my crosshair in the wall, and then I'm going to swing the active angle. If I don't see anyone, I'm going to carry on with the drill. Like this corner, unfortunately, I come behind. I get some like horrible DMs really, but yeah, I'm going to focus on the corners like this. I'm going to swing this angle, bang, didn't get it. I'm going to focus on this corner, maybe an angle here, didn't get it. I'm going to focus on this corner, angle, angle. I focus on this corner, no angle. I'm going to focus. Okay, you see the point of this, right? Obviously, you're going to get a lot of deaths. You're going to get a lot of deaths, and you're not going to get that many kills, but it's all about your crosshair placement. So you're going to be practicing like good crosshair placement on every corner, like this. It doesn't matter if you die. It doesn't matter. This does not matter if you die, get kills, whatever. And it's also practicing your swinging, right? So I swing this guy. I'm practicing my movement, my crosshair placement by fighting these people, right? So when you're in actual fight like that as well with the jet, you want to practice your counter strafing. So you want to be doing like, hopefully there's a fight here. You want to be doing things like this, like that. You want to be focusing like on your movement and on your tap firing. I'm not warmed up. I suck at this game, so there you go. Okay, so that's it for the coaching session, I think. If you do have any questions, you can put them on Discord. You can either message me or put them in the general chat or something like that. Is fine. So yeah, that's it for the session. I'm not sure how long the session was. How long was the session? Around 60 minutes. Yeah, to be honest, I think the reason why, I think, first of all, I think I made to practice with coaching sessions. Let's not look at that. My God, let's not look at that. The reason why I made to practice, I think I'm just out to practice with coaching sessions right now because it's been like it's been over 2 months, I think, since I've done a coaching session. So if I didn't explain something the greatest, which is often the case, then please ask questions about things. Also as well, Reyna overall as an agent wouldn't recommend necessarily to play it. As you've probably seen if you have watched my videos, if you watch my tier list for ranked or my most recent tier list, you'll see I put Reyna at the bottom, and the reason for that is because she's just not a very good agent to learn the game on. Like, you're gonna struggle to understand really important basic concepts with like utility usage and other things, and it also doesn't help you like take fights very much. And to be honest, I think I'm fine with it. I'm fine with people playing Reyna below gold in some ways, but in others I don't really like it. So the way that I don't mind it is that at least you're going to be taking a lot of fights, and you're going to be trying to take fights with very small amounts of util, which will help you actually gunfight people. The other ways I don't like it, though, are like outweighing it by quite a considerable amount, which is you're not really going to learn how the game actually works, like utility-wise, or what your agent is trying to do, like what your role is trying to do, and overall, I think she just makes the game very feast or famine. You're going to feel like you're going to play awful. Like, when you play bad, you're going to feel it really bad on Reyna. But when you play good, I guess you can also feel it really good on Reyna. So, I don't really know with that stuff. But for the most part, I wouldn't recommend playing Reyna. I don't think it's very good for learning the game. So I would recommend not playing it. Okay. So that's it for the stream as well. I think I'm going to be done now. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that it was helpful. Once again, bit of a waffle on some parts, but yeah, as I mentioned, if you have any questions, put them on Discord, and I will elaborate on some of the things that I've yapped about. Wait, I've just realised that. Wait, I didn't even realise. Sorry, side note. I didn't even realise that I can actually insert ads on my stream. That's so crazy. On my YouTube stream. What the hell? That's so crazy. Man. So cool. I'm not going to do it, but not very at least often. It depends on the way they do it. If I insert ads in my stream, do I get like pre-roll ads or no? Because I know in Twitch that if you insert ads every hour, then new users, like new viewers, don't get pre-roll ads. So I know that on Twitch, if I had the option to do that, I would do that 100%, because the pre-roll ads are such a horrible thing to have on Twitch, because it just like kills lower viewer channels, because people try to look at their channel and they're getting hit by ads. So it's just like, what's the point? And then they just go away. So yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so that's it for the stream. I'll be back on a weekday next week probably for solo queue, because I need to get out of Ascendant as soon as possible, ideally. But it's fun. It happens. I'm not really playing very well at the moment, so it is what it is mechanically. So we'll just see how it goes. Okay, that's the stream on YouTube.